Welcome to the Film Frenzy podcast. My name is Benjamin. I got Carter here today, and today, as if you're not always on the podcast. And we are our podcast that looks at all things film, so TV, movies, sometimes story-based video games, and we are diving into a fun topic today. You want to introduce it?
Okay, so today we're going to be doing another top 10 list because they're just a blast to do. Today's top 10 worst movies of all time. And let me just say right now, I know for a fact that some of these aren't actually... Two movies on this list are good. They aren't bad movies, they're just, I hate them. So I also have to put that, some of them are just least favorite, not all of them are worst. But
I have a movie on here that's one of the best, most highest grossing movies of all time.
Me too. I don't know if it's highest grossing, but really love the movie.
Yeah, so interesting. It's an interesting list. Yeah, so it's a little bit more, like you said, at least my list is movies I didn't like than objectively bad movies.
Yeah.
But I also think most of them are objectively bad too. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in. You want to start
all
off?
Three honorable mentions?
Yep.
Okay.
So who's going first?
All three of these are... I'll go first.
Okay.
All three of these are hot takes. All three of them.
This is honorable mentions.
Okay, yep. Ooh, I'm going to do last place, the one you'd agree with me the most, and then... So,
Okay.
13th and then 11th. 13th, so third honorable mention is The Marvels.
Okay.
That movie is a laughing stock in the Marvel, cinematic universe, and so many people just say it's not that bad, or when it is that bad. There's a whole musical scene in that movie.
The musical scene, as if the movie wasn't already
What's
bad
the
enough.
bad guy's name? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah. Not objectively bad.
Next honorable mention we got, I don't know. I'll just get The Titanic.
Oh, okay.
That movie is so bad. That movie is so bad. The climax is spoiled.
Well, you kind of know. Yeah, you kind of know what happens.
No,
in the end.
that's not my problem with it. No, it's the fact that what's his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio gets murdered by his girlfriend.
There's
It's
room on
pretty
the
much
room on the
murder.
door or whatever it
He
was.
just didn't want to help him.
There's room on the board.
And then you're supposed to feel bad for her, even though there was definitely room on the door. The Titanic part was cool, but everything else just was so slow and boring.
We may come back to that movie.
And I hated
Hint.
it. And then my last one is Man of Steel.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
Yeah, let's make a Superman movie about a role model about somebody who everybody should love, and let's make him super unlikable and angry in the entire movie.
I think he's likable. He's just misunderstood.
Misunderstood?
No.
He killed his dad, so...
He let his dad die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He let his dad die.
Okay, that hurts my heart a little bit because I love that movie. I will say this: you may be surprised about this. There is not a single Marvel movie on my
How?
on my list of worst movies.
I love Marvel.
Because even the worst of the Marvel movies, I actually find to be still somewhat entertaining. These are all movies that couldn't entertain me, couldn't move the needle for me.
You haven't seen the one of them.
Okay, I'm specifically talking about MCU movies.
Oh, okay.
MCU movie.
That's...
There is a Marvel movie on here.
Okay,
There's not an
that's
MCU
understandable.
movie on here. Okay, so my there's two kind of hot takes for you, I think, on my honorable mentions. Actually, all three might be. So these are my honorable mentions. One, the newer live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What?
Yes.
I love those movies. Those
It
movies
was
are so good.
dumb, and it's so creepy.
MC Mikey.
How the guy who is like the cameraman is always hitting on the girl who's clearly like Will
Megan
Arnett
Fox?
is hitting on Megan Fox, who's clearly like a third of his age. It's so
I mean, that part's a
creepy.
little weird, but like it's funny and dude,
They're hard to look at.
It's an
the turtles.
awesome movie. They have the words mutant and turtles in their name. You don't want them to be pretty.
Oh, they're so disturbing.
I think it's
terrible
great
movie. The acting
movies.
was really bad.
Great movies right
Just
there.
all around bad movie. All right, number 2, Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace.
That's bullcrap. That's not even the worst Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it is for me. Jar Jar Binks puts that in as the absolute worst Star Wars movie ever made.
He's top 3 Star Wars characters. I'm joking. I'm joking. That is not that... Dude, rewatch it. I promise you won't
I have rewatched it many times.
When? When's the last time you watched it? I watched it last year, and I thoroughly
not last
enjoyed
year, but no.
Last year... I started rewatching Star Wars last year. And I got on that movie, and it got me in the mood to watch like 5 different projects.
I will say this: so you had the benefit of not experiencing this. So, I grew up my whole life adoring the original trilogy. Everybody did, and then they announced that they were making a new one, and the hype around it was so high. The excitement level was so high, and the movie came out such a disappointment. Jar Jar Binks ruining it. So I dislike it as much because of the disappointment factor than the actual movie.
Kind of like Man of Steel.
Okay, that's an argument to be made. And then finally, I'm sure this is on a lot of people's lists, Green Lantern.
That's also bullcrap because that movie is so much better than
one of
Man
the
of
worst
Steel.
superhero costumes ever made, CGI
That's
version.
Stupid.
And
That's dumb.
Just a really dumb movie.
No,
so
it
those are my
wasn't.
honorable mentions.
It wasn't that bad. Number 10.
So we're gonna alternate now.
Okay, yeah. Number 10 is, I think, no, okay. The second worst DC movie of all time, Black Adam.
Oh, I see. I haven't seen. There's a lot of these that I bet you that I haven't seen. I've heard it's terrible.
Black Adam is so bad. Dwayne Johnson's character is so... I'm a known Dwayne Johnson hater.
Yeah.
But his character is so bad in that movie. And he was supposed to be... the advertising is so corny looking back at it. Because he was like, the power in the DC is about to change. And he's just terrible. And they killed off an actually good character in that movie who was actually interesting, named like Dr. Fate or something. An Ant-Man ripoff was in it who was just super weird. And then we have Dwayne Johnson's character who is just super unlikable the entire movie. It's a really bad movie.
It's still filming, by the way.
Yes. It's been a while since I watched it, so I don't exactly remember much about it, but...
All right, mine is my only Marvel movie on there. Not MCU, though. Hold on, this is bothering me. I mistyped a word.
You only have one other Marvel movie?
No, this is my only one.
Wow.
So, this is the original, well, I don't know about the original. It might have been an older one, but of the, like, in the 90s, 2000s, Hulk. So, with Eric Bana. Not the one with...
I know. You're saying that Kraven the Hunter is better...
Yes, than that Hulk.
You're saying no. I agree with you on that. You're saying Kraven the Hunter is better than Phantom Menace. You're saying Kraven the Hunter is better than what else did you say?
Green Lantern.
TMNT.
Yeah.
Green Lantern. That is dumb. That is.
It's about where the movies hit me, and so that number 10 was Hulk. I think it's just called Hulk, and it was just really dumb and just bad CGI, special effects, everything about it was dumb. So,
okay, well, you are just weird, dude. Okay, next we have number 9. We have Eternals. I've seen that movie
almost
twice.
made my list. I had it on my list.
I've seen that movie twice. The characters are you barely know the characters. I already forget all of their names except like Icarus. Because he was like the main character who ended up turning evil. The only good part about that movie was this speedster scene where she was running. That was pretty cool. They wasted Celestials, first of all, or third of all. It was just a terrible movie.
Yeah, it almost made my list. I couldn't remember enough about it. It's an arguable could have been on my list.
Remember Harry Styles in the end credit scene?
Oh gosh, I do remember that. That was dumb. All right, my number 9.
Yep.
The Flash. And this is the only movie on here I couldn't make it all the way through the movie. I have not seen the entire Flash. I've seen
worse
a half of it. It was so dumb. The acting is so incredibly bad. The guy who plays Barry Allen is just... He went from being pretty funny and good in the Snyder cut of Justice League to really, really annoying and stupid in The Flash. I don't know what happened.
Can I say something really quick? that I'm just gonna say that movie did not make my list. So I am saying that Man of Steel is worse than The Flash. So I'll put that out there.
All right. Yeah.
Because The Flash is not that bad. It's really bad, but it's not that bad. Nicolas Cage Superman was peak.
Oh, no, see, now I didn't make it all the way through the movie,
No,
so I
it's
do
really
have to
bad.
say that.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
It's the most disgusting thing ever. Number 8 right now, is Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
That, oh my god.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of forgot about that movie a little bit. That might have made my list. It was pretty dumb.
It was really dumb. I mean, Sonyverse. There's no need to explain half those movies.
I mean, there were a couple cool action moments, but the Rhino was the CGI for the Rhino and everything was so stupid.
They had to fight in like a horde of what? And more rhinos?
Yeah, it was dumb.
It was really dumb.
Okay. My number 8's a movie you've never seen, I don't think. Will Smith, when he was at the top of his game, made a movie called Wild Wild West, and it is so dumb.
Who's in that movie?
Will Smith is probably the only one. That's the only one you would know.
I've
Kevin
never
Kline.
seen it.
You would know who that is. Yeah, it was a really, really bad movie. So go watch it if you want to watch a bad movie.
For my number what? 7? We have Shazam 2. Another DC movie.
Another one I haven't seen.
That movie is laughingly bad. It's like the first Shazam wasn't that bad, but they got everything about Shazam 1 and just made it a little bit worse.
So like what was good about Shazam 1? Like as a contrast.
I laughed I laughed during Shazam 1. I'm not saying it was a good movie. I'm saying it's a lot better. It was funny at times.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Didn't like in Shazam 2, didn't they like a bunch of people get the Shazam
Oh yeah,
powers?
there was like 7. Yeah. And like one of them just didn't want to anymore, and there was like a whole thing, and he became a rebel and then lost his powers in like space prison.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really, really good. Number 7 for me is arguably, I think, still the highest grossing movie of all time if you take into into account inflation, The Titanic.
Oh, I knew you were gonna put it on there.
Yeah, Titanic. It started out higher on my list.
Bad.
It is so dumb.
It is so. How do people love that movie?
I cannot understand how people love that movie, and people don't just love that movie; they adore that movie. I think it's the greatest movie ever. And to me, the acting. I love Leo. Leonardo DiCaprio turned out to be one of the best actors.
He's top 3 actors, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best of all time, but he was so bad in that movie, and everything about it, the acting was abysmal. I feel like they took a tragedy and made a farce on top of it. Like, instead of it being a tragic film, it was like a weird romance, and then of course the ending of him not making it onto the board is just.
There needed some like sad effect in it.
And I have heard, and I was trying to remember when I was putting this together, and I can't. So comment please and let me know. There were some people that had quasi decent defenses on why he couldn't make it on the board. I don't remember what they were. If you have a good defense on why he couldn't make it on that with her, I don't. It looked like there's plenty of room to me.
There was plenty of room. If he was a little like too cool to get on there, just help, maybe pull him up.
I mean,
like
when you're the person that is in love, I don't even care if she liked him, let alone loved him. You're in that moment, you'll do anything to save that person and get them onto the boat. Even if it's somebody I don't know, I'm going to not just let them drift off.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's a stranger who can get on my board and they're literally right there and it would not be that hard to pull them up, I would for sure do it.
Yeah.
But instead, it's your boyfriend. And then you won't do it.
Who you've been in love with for like 5 minutes, by the way. Like they just met and then they're like lovers, and it's just dumb. Super dumb movie.
Yeah, it is.
We still recording? I can't see.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Next I have a Pixar movie.
Oh no.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Turning Red.
Oh man.
It is so weird.
What is the point of the movie?
A girl turns into like a panda when she's like embarrassed.
Okay.
And it's like a family curse, and then she gets embarrassed or something at a concert, and her mom becomes a panda, and then they like yell at each other or something.
Mm.
It's weird. It's really uncomfortable. I feel
Yeah.
really uncomfortable. I remember feeling really uncomfortable while watching it.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it other than the fact that it was a very strange movie.
It was really weird. I don't know what they were doing with that movie, but they should have scrapped it the second they heard girl turning into panda.
Yeah, yeah. All right, my number 6. I love Keanu Reeves. He's one of my favorite of the action type actors. You know who that is? John Wick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was in a romance movie with, I want to say, Sandra Bullock. I have to look that up. Called The Lake House. And the whole point of this movie was that, like, you find out he lived like 50 years before her, and somehow they magically could send letters through. They both lived in the same lake house, and they could send letters to each other magically through a magic mailbox. And so they like had this romance through letters through a mailbox.
What's it called?
The Lake House.
That is weird.
It was. And maybe, I mean, I did see it when I was a lot younger, so
Did the
it is.
mailbox kill his dog?
Yeah, and then he became John Wick. It is listed by some people as one of the worst movies of its era. Yeah, I was right. It was Sandra Bullock. I mean, those are two really successful actors.
6.8 doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, it was really, really dumb. And maybe I'm getting part of the plot wrong. Again, if you are a fan of that movie and you know more than I do, that's just what I remember about it. And I just walked out of that theater going, what did I just do with the last 2 hours of my life?
Dude, that magic mailbox. So for my number 5, it's a movie I just watched like last week. I told him about it.
Yeah, I've been seeing this.
It's really, really bad, and I don't recommend watching it, and I'll have to explain why I watched it, because it's not a movie anybody just normally watches. But a movie called Animal Farm. I bet I'm the only person who's watched it in the last year. It is the live action version, so a lot of it looks like it's animated just because it came out like if the budget was really low and it came out before CGI could be good. So the CGI is laughably terrible. Storyline's really weird. There's like a pig that like takes over a bunch of other animals, and he's supposed to like symbolize Hitler or something. But I watched it because at my school we read the book. My class read the book, and I didn't.
Are you admitting something here, Carter?
Yeah. I didn't. I watched the summaries, but until I found out we had a final over it, so watched the movie, and it was really bad.
How did you do on this final?
Pretty good.
Did you do good on the final?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Animal Farm. I remember having to read the book in school. I don't remember anything about it. I was probably like father, like son. I probably didn't read it either.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a movie to watch, so I don't know how I got through it.
Oh, you had a movie to watch. You had the animated version.
It's true.
All played by one actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. The more you know. Okay, that was your number 5?
Mm-hmm.
My number 5, and hang on real quick. I wanted to see something real quick about who was in this. So, my number 5 is a movie that a lot of people liked. That movie was Pearl Harbor. I went into it thinking this was going to be a really great World War II movie. That was really going to focus on the history of what happened at Pearl Harbor, which is a tremendous tragedy. But yet there's great moments of heroism, and instead it was this weird love triangle with Ben Affleck and Kate Beckinsale and I think Josh Hartnett, and I hated it. It was so hard to get through.
So Pearl Harbor movie that's about a love triangle.
Pearl Harbor movie, it's primarily a love
Sounds like
triangle.
some Disney Channel crap.
it felt like it, yeah.
That sounds awesome. I might need to watch it. For number 4, we have Avengers Infinity War. No, for number 4, we have Batman and Robin.
Oh, gosh. I was like, what?
No, number 4, we got Batman and Robin. I got through 10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And it was really, really funny. I have to say that.
Like funny because it was
Bad,
intentionally funny.
bad. It was bad.
Okay.
The supposed to be like super cinematic zoom ins.
Yes.
It was an interesting movie. It was an interesting movie.
Let's just in the 10 minutes that you watched, you got to see Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. You watched them play hockey with a giant diamond. I don't mean like a diamond. I mean like it was like this big, and Batman and Robin just so happened to have ice skates that could pop out of their boots.
I remember that.
And then they surfed on something, or like went. That's right. They went up in the air and like came surfing down with really, really bad CGI graphics.
I remember that.
All in just 10 minutes, we got to see
Baskets.
this horrible, horrible, horrible movie.
When has Batman ever said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna need to add ice skates to my boots"?
Yeah, just in case, because they hadn't met Mr. Freeze yet. This was new. So just in case he met an ice-themed supervillain.
He must have felt so happy when he saw an ice film.
He's like, yes, I can finally use them.
I did it for something. Alfred's gonna owe me $20 after this. It was a interesting movie.
Yeah, that was number 4.
10 minutes. Yeah.
My number 4. I don't know if you'll agree with this one or not. The first one is beloved, even though it is also a kind of bad movie. The second one was just awful, and that is Space Jam 2.
That's so weird.
The LeBron James
funny. And I
Space
love Bugs
Jam.
Bunny.
I love Bugs Bunny, but
And
my
he's
gosh,
great in that movie.
LeBron James was such a bad actor.
Okay, but that's one bad actor out of everybody
He's
else.
the main actor.
That's all. But like, it was funny, and Bugs Bunny had to sacrifice himself, and he's still alive anyways. But like, it was really great. It was funny, and it was a great little family movie.
I mean, I'm as big of a Michael Jordan fan as you can possibly get, and I will even admit the first one was really dumb.
Am I wearing my Jordan hat?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Why they just decided they had to make another one because LeBron James is supposedly the next Michael Jordan. So let's do the film that Jordan did. Oh, it was so bad. Oh man.
First Space Jam was good though.
First Space Jam was better. The second Space Jam just repeated everything that happened in the
second
first one.
Space Jam was like
really
5
bad
out of
acting.
10.
Arguably.
Okay. This
All
next movie is I'd say a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
You had this on your list. The Hulk movie.
Okay. It did make your list. All right,
Yeah,
good. I thought you were disagreeing with me that it was on the list.
No, I was disagreeing that you said only Marvel movie, and Kraven the Hunter isn't on that list.
Yeah.
Because this movie's horrendously bad, and it's
You've seen it more recently than I have, so remind me of what was so bad about it.
The CGI's terrible. That's one of the only movies, and I've watched a lot of boring movies. This is the only movie I've ever had to skip till the end.
Oh, really?
Because the acting is terrible. I hated it. It took so long for him to become the Hulk in a Hulk movie. And he kept growing after everything, and he was just so green. It was
too green.
Yeah. It wasn't like Incredible Hulk green where he was like he looked more realistic, or like not lime green where it was more comic accurate. He was dark green. So.
And did he, Abomination wasn't in that one, was he, or was he?
No,
that's just the Abomination was the second one.
I don't know if I got far enough to see the bad guy.
No, I don't think he was. That was the whole.
No, I like the bad guy in the movie.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was Abomination. I don't know who it was.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I think it was just the military. It was
Alexa, who did Hulk fight in the Hulk movie that came out in 2004?
From Screamer.com. In The Incredible Hulk,
No,
was shown as a near
we'll see what movie that came out. Or year that came out.
Military assaults and defeating Abomination in hand-to-hand combat.
I'm gonna be really proud of myself if it was 2004, but my gosh,
2003.
it was 2003.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner, genetics researcher with a tragic past, suffers. Ooh, that was coordinated little trailer there. Lab accident that makes him transform into a raging green monster when angered, making him a target of forces seeking to abuse his powers.
Yeah, there was no
government.
Hulk. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I mean, there was no Hulk. There was no Abomination. All right. So that was your number 3.
Yeah.
My number 3 could have been number 1. It's honestly, it probably should be under number one now that I'm seeing where it is. The Twilight movie.
I haven't seen it. I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
The Lego set, it was also pretty bad.
They had a Lego set for it?
Yeah, it just came out. The Lego set itself looks good.
Oh, the Cullen House.
but
That's right.
have you seen the wolf, the buildable wolf?
No.
It's so bad. It's like really small and it's really bad.
So, that's right. I forgot they just released the Cullen House. So, a little backstory. For my graduate thesis, I did a thesis on the impact of youth literature, young adult literature, and how it impacts how boys and girls viewed love and relationships. And anyway, so long story short is Twilight was one of my example books because it was a really big book at the time that I was doing my thesis. And so I had to read the book and I had to watch the movie. The book was fine.
I have to change this. It fell over. I was about to fall over.
The book was fine. The movie was so hard to get through. It was just bad. It was just really, really bad.
Yeah, it's like a love story with a werewolf. So.
And a vampire.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Like the werewolf and the vampire fall in love?
No, a werewolf and a vampire are both trying to win the same girl. It's a love triangle.
That's weird.
Yep, and she has to.
Bro, I messed it all up. keep explaining. Yes.
Okay, yeah, well, that's pretty much it. So it's about time for you to go.
He was also Cedric Diggory.
He was also Cedric Diggory. He was also the Batman, and he has turned out to be a pretty darn good actor, Robert Pattinson. What's his best movie? Do you think? Is it Mickey 17?
Oh, the Batman.
The Batman?
Oh,
best acting.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17.
I thought you were saying the best movie he was in.
Yeah. No, the best movie he was in is the Batman, for sure.
I ruined it. Oh, man, this is annoying me. Well, go ahead and explain the movie a little bit more.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go on to the next movie because...
No, you're not.
we can't keep stalling
I'm
here.
not stalling. You're just informing them. They've never heard of that movie before. All right, let's go now. Okay, so since you were taking a little bit long there, I can finally go. Number 2 is you definitely didn't think of this movie, but it's so bad I had to. So do you remember the Diary of the Wimpy Kid movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the 4th one? They recasted all of them.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot about that movie.
The acting was so worst acting I've ever seen.
Worst
in a movie,
acting.
ever.
And I always feel bad saying that about kid actors because
It wasn't
they're
just the
trying.
kids, though.
It wasn't just the kids.
The
Wait,
story
didn't it have
was
Steve
terrible.
Zahn in it? Or was he in the main ones?
I don't know. He's
Yeah.
probably the main ones.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
The Long Haul. They had like a pet pig. I liked the book, but it was such a bad movie. So bad, and it was like we watched it, and because we were watching all the Diary of the Wimpy Kid movies, and we didn't want to. It was the last one. We didn't just want to.
Oh, he was
go
the main
through
one.
it. Yeah,
The first
we didn't just want to skip through it, right? I kind of wish we did because it felt like forever. I felt like that movie was never gonna end, and it was just so bad.
Sometimes you have to sit through movies as a dad because the kids like the movies, but this one was just everybody hated it.
Yeah, and I think we just kept watching. I don't really know why, but I do have to say something. Do you remember the Roderick actor?
I don't remember him. I remember him being bad. I don't remember who he was.
He was bad in that movie, but he got a lot of hate for it, but he got a little too much hate, and he went through some real mental health issues after that movie.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah, because it just became a trend to make fun of him, and a lot I think it's fine. He made a video about it. He said it's not even the fact that he did bad in that movie because he said he knew that movie was going to be bad, but it was the fact some of the people calling him out were just terrible. They started making fun of the way he looked.
Yeah, you can't be personal about it. And that's why I said when it's kids, I have a really hard time being kind of hard on them because they're trying. They really are trying hard. They're learning their craft. I blame the directors, the writers, the people who are in charge of making this thing come out. It should have okay, so like going back, Minecraft movie, we were a little hard on the kid who played the main actor. Again, I blame the director and everybody around it
The
for not
casting
getting
director.
better out of the kid and putting him in better situations. Yeah. So
And honestly, this is kind of mean, but like, just I guarantee a bunch of kids wanted to be in that movie. And if a kid, like, you don't have to accept, like, try to find a really good kid actor. You know what I mean? If you don't have to, like, I don't know, just cast somebody else.
yeah.
Because at that point, I just feel bad for the kid. It wasn't his fault. I mean, he was like what, 7,
Yeah.
8?
Which one are we talking about now?
The Minecraft movie.
Minecraft movie, yeah.
He was like too young to, be a phenomenal actor.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, there's a connection between your number 2 or your number 3 and my. No, wait, what are we on?
Do you number 2?
My number 2, yeah. So the mother, well, the mom and dad in that Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie were actually well-known actors. The dad played in one of my favorite movies of all time, That Thing You Do. It's your mom's favorite movie. And the mom was Alicia Silverstone, who in the 90s I was madly in love with. And she starred in my number 2 movie as Batgirl, Batman and Robin.
Wow.
Alicia Silverstone
yeah,
was
Batman
in.
Robin.
Yep.
That's what I was. Okay.
Yep, she was in that as Batgirl. So it's funny that our number 2 had the same actress in it, and she was really bad in both movies. So sorry, Alicia. It was just not good. Yeah, Batman and Robin. We've already talked about it a little bit. Golly, if you want to have a good laugh, that's why we turned it on that one time. Is I wanted you to have a good laugh at how bad it was.
Oh, it was.
If you want to have a good laugh at a movie that is just objectively bad acting, bad cinematography, bad writing, bad costumes, you name it. Every aspect of that movie is terrible. And George Clooney is a great actor. He was the one who played Batman, but Chris O'Donnell, the guy who played Robin, completely ended his career. I mean, he never really made a big movie again after that.
Makes sense.
Arnold, that was towards the end of Arnold's career too. It was just bad. It was just a bad movie. So ruined careers. George Clooney managed to come back from that one, and he has some funny things to say about it. It wasn't really a bad movie. He knows it.
I have a feeling all of those people. I really like an actor who can joke about a bad movie, like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
he shot himself.
And he agrees with me. Green Lantern is one of the worst movies ever made.
I think Ryan Reynolds is hating on his movie too much.
All right, so this is it. Number 1.
Okay.
Worst movie ever made for you.
Okay. This is probably not like the cinematography, the graphics probably weren't as bad. Like it probably deserved to be a little lower on the list, but I especially hated this movie, and this is the first really bad movie I've ever watched.
I wonder if it's... Go ahead.
It's Madam Web.
Oh, no, okay.
What were you gonna say?
Never mind. I thought maybe we had the same movie, but it's not.
Oh,
Not even close.
Madam Web is so bad. The acting in it's just really bad. The story's really bad. A lot of really weird moments, like there's a flash, and then bam, there's somebody calling on the wall. Bam, there's not. Like you go back, like you have visions. It is weird, dude.
It's on my list of movies I really want to watch because I like seeing.
Yeah, you haven't seen it, so that makes sense. But
Yeah.
don't watch it.
Another movie that didn't make either one of our lists that's considered one of the worst, if not the worst of all time, I also want to see for that same reason, is Cats. It didn't make my list, but Cats
I don't want to
with
see
Taylor
it because,
Swift.
oh
and
my gosh, it looks terrible.
It looks so bad. So your worst movie ever is Madam Web. I knew it'd make the list, so when I didn't see it earlier, I figured it was going to be your top one. My number 1 movie, worst movie I've ever seen. Like I hinted earlier at this, as a father, you'll get to experience
I know
this
what movie
someday.
you're talking
You
about.
have to sit through kid-focused movies, and I'm very kind to kid movies. When we do our rankings, I'm much nicer of a kid-focused movie than you are because I feel like the bar is lower. It's just
I
entertaining
know
the
what
kids.
you're talking about.
But this movie was just so hard to get through, and we watched every second of this dumb movie at least
First
one
bad
time.
movie I watched.
Yeah, when you said the first bad movie, I thought you might say this. The Emoji
Forgot
Movie.
about it. I forgot about the
The
emoji.
Emoji Movie. I mean, when it comes to worst ideas ever for a movie, Hey, there's these things we do on our phone that makes like a picture of something. Let's make a movie about it.
Dude, how do you even do that?
Like, who in their right mind thought this was going to be a good movie? And the way they turned it into a movie was just stupid.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. It was so bad. It was just a really bad movie to get through. I apologize to people who made Emoji Movie your life's work. I'm sure you worked really hard on it, but
Oh, well,
you swung and missed on that one,
try
folks.
better next time.
And wasn't there even talk of doing a sequel for that one? Like, because
that
it
was
did.
Angry Birds.
I'm just thinking Angry Birds.
Because
Okay.
that movie was really bad too, and
Yeah.
that's getting a third one.
Ironically, Angry Birds was on my list for a long time, but then it got pushed off.
I watched it one time. It was a while ago.
I remember there being a couple moments in the Angry Birds movie. I was like, "Ha, that's kind of funny." So that's a reason it didn't make my list. So that's our top 10 list. What do you think? What movies did we miss? And if we have a movie on here that you just strongly disagree with, go ahead and chime in and defend it. Let us know what. I mean, I had some hot button takes with some hot takes like
Well,
Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah, worst takes were our honorable mention. Your honorable mention.
Yeah, those were all rough.
Star Wars Phantom Menace and 13 worst movies of all time is just criminal.
It is. It's one of the worst movies ever made.
That's
I took us in. You want to take us out?
Sure. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next Tuesday.